A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we would be talking about the September month's energy update. It's very important for all of us to tune into it because in the month of August, a lot of people experienced the Lionsgate portal and many people experienced bad health. Some of them experienced really heavy emotions. Some people experience financial crisis. Different type of situations happen to different types of people. And why it happened, I'll tell you that. And moving on from September onwards, what is the change that we should expect and what is the work that we need to do in the Twinflame, Starseed and Lightworker ascension journey. So let's get started. First of all those people who experienced heavy energy, intense energy, or for those people who were not well, I would like to say that all the bad things that happen to you during the Lionsgate portal are actually good things because they cleanse you and they make you humble. Becoming humble or staying humble is a very important part of this journey. When a lot of people do yogic practices or they have some kind of experience with pure joy, bliss, and they are feeling very integrated with the source, sometimes generally they tend to get very attached with it. Like all good things are happening or they're enjoying or they're joyous, so they become too much attached with that feeling of enjoyment, and that brings them into a comfort zone. Or they can even, there's a danger or a possibility that they forget why exactly they are in this journey. Now, this is not some type of punishment that the universe is giving you. This basically means that they want you to up your level and they want to check whether you are ready for it or not. And in most cases, when people are going through these experiences, they feel this kind of surge that reaches to a certain level, but it does not touch the point, the actual point. So it keeps going up and down, up and down, up and down, and which also frustrates them a lot. Now, I speak about, in my channelings also I've spoken about the dimension of Vishnu and Lakshmi. It is called Vaikunt. Vaikunt simply means without kunt, without kunta. Kunta means frustration. And in the twin flame journey, one of the key lessons in the final stages of the ascension journey is to not get frustrated no matter what happens in the outside world. Now, the sooner people understand this, the faster they recover. Sometimes they have not fallen sick, or the financial problem is not for them, or the emotional problem or the mental trauma is not for them, but it is for someone who matters to them, someone who's close to them. So directly they may not be suffering, but indirectly, through someone else, they go through the pain and suffering. So it's very important to understand, as much as there is a global pandemic going on, or people are falling sick, or there are some news reports of some deaths, or there are some kind of collective problems that are happening in different types of subcontinents. Like a lot of people in the same subcontinent are going through some kind of feeling of loss or grief or fear or pain or anger or frustration or rage. Even not being able to feel protected, like how it happened in Afghanistan very recently. So all of these collective feelings also add on to the baggage that the person is going through. And then there is three-dimensional things like the news channels or some kind of activity, some kind of promotional activity that builds up the fear in other people. So these are also energy attacks. These are energy attacks. These are energy imprints and implants that stick to your body. If it's not happening directly to you, you would be seeing that someone in your family is getting very affected by it, or someone is getting very harassed, or even if you try and explain things to them, or sometimes a lot of your energy goes in just explaining things to other people. You're trying to convince them to not be scared, to live a holistic life, or not listen to these news items. Just focus on your devotion and dedication and source integration. And sometimes even though they are integrated to the source and you would see them, they're very ritualistic or they're very disciplined. Such people nowadays, people who are integrating source on a daily basis with discipline, are going to remain healthy. But there are certain people who are very ritualistic. They just do those activities because someone has told them, or they have somehow figured it out, or it's programmed in their system that if you do these activities, you will be safe. God will save you. So they do it, but the baseline feeling is fear. The baseline problem is fear. So they will attract those energies and then you will see them suffer and you will feel bad. And it's very difficult for some people, and yes, for some time, to not get attached with those emotions, those negative emotions. So what you should do in this case is try and observe as much as you can and do breath work. So in Hindi we have a very beautiful song. सांसों की माला से सिमरूं मैं पी का नाम, सांसों की माला से सिमरूं मैं पी का नाम. So P is your beloved, and here we see source as our beloved. And सांसों की माला means like you have rosary. So in the rosaries you have the beads, right? A lot of people do prayers through rosaries, or they chant through rosaries. So they keep doing bead by bead, one by one. But your breath can do similar work, and this is a very high level of spiritual work where you chant with your breath. Okay, so you take the name of God, whosoever's name you take, or even just mental awareness with the breath, the coming and going of your air in your nostrils, through your nostrils, or just going through this part or in your chest. You just are aware that you're breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, so Lakshmi and Vishnu's dimension is called Vaikunt. Vaikunt means without frustration. So when you also do this awareness work or your breath work, you will also get very in touch with your emotions and feelings. So the moment you feel drained, the moment you feel low, you need to quit the frustration. You should know that. And in this dimension, which is without frustration, you don't really have to die and only then you can connect with Vaikunt. You can connect with Vaikunt while you're living on earth also. You just have to let go of the frustration, the thoughts that connect you with the frustration. Connect with God through your breath work and connect with source mostly. So don't do just ritualistic things because some people say that you should do it and it will be good, because then you're having fears in your heart and you're trying to protect yourself from those bad things that can happen to you. So you're not feeling it. You're not feeling it, you're just doing it. So this is a simple exercise. This type of mental awareness, this type of emotional control, and this type of awareness that your energy is draining or not draining, or how you're feeling, or even thinking that whenever you feel low, depressed, troubled, or sometimes it happens that you're talking too much about worldly things. Maybe you get a phone call from a materialistic relative or a very materialistic friend of yours, and you do have certain type of attachment towards them, or you're talking to someone, you just happen to meet someone and they go on talking about a lot of things that only happen in the programmed, three-dimensional programmed culture, or as I said, the worldly culture. You feel very drained. While you're into a conversation with them, you may not realize it, but maybe when they leave, or for some people it could happen into the conversation also, that they're not feeling very nice, they're feeling very disinterested, or they think that this type of subject, it is so worldly, so materialistic, I don't think I can have a long conversation on it. So you'll start feeling very weak, you'll start feeling physically weak, you'll not feel like being over there. So you can make an excuse and quickly leave from there, or even when you're standing over there, you're with those people, you can start doing the mental work. So you could be listening to them, you could even be interacting with them, but you're not going very deep into those type of conversations, the worldly conversations. So these type of energies, they are only meant for people who are seriously doing ascension work. If you're here just to find out what your DM is doing on a daily basis, it means you are still in stalker energies. And someone questioned me, then why do we share the channelings? We share the channelings because we talk about uplifted DMs and DFs, and we also talk about the energy shifts. We also talk about those people who have changed their three-dimensional reality and moved into five-dimensional reality. And a lot of such people, the advanced twin souls who are doing very regular, very serious work, or they are very, very mission oriented, very, very committed, they, as you know, in the pyramid structure of the twin flamers, they are the ones who are giving energy to many people. You know, they are connected to many other twin flamers also. Or once they heal, then a fresh new lot will appear on the next level of the pyramid, and they will move on to the top or whatever. I'm just giving an example. Or it could be like step by step thing. So everybody is moving up and up and up. That's the idea. Now there are people who have lost someone, people have departed from their lives, or it's just not happening, things are not happening for them. It's because you've become too stuck with the idea of failure. Or else, in some cases, as I said, you yourself have developed some kind of superiority complex, because of which you're not able to integrate with the source. It could also be inferiority complex, like I said, when you meet some relatives or some very negative people who are just talking about worldly things. You know, they're just talking about things that have no connection with spiritual maturity. You then also feel very drained. It brings in some kind of old toxic energy in you. So this time, the month of August that went by, was a time for all of that to happen. And now as you get into September, you're going to be recovering from it. You'll start feeling a bit more energetic. You will start focusing on healthy foods, and you'll also realize that even content is a type of food. People think that only food we eat is food, but for the mind also you need food. And if you are very aware and conscious, then you can catch hold of those points where you mentally are attaching yourself to certain ideas, and those ideas are draining you. So you can be like, no, I don't want to do this. Best way to do source integration is just do your work, just do karma yoga and be connected with source. Stay connected with source and do breath work, or you can do mental meditation, or we call it mental chanting also, instead of doing verbal chanting. Alright, so yes, there is recovery, there is rejuvenation, and there are other months coming, because August is technically also the middle of the year, and this is the reason why. You must be thinking, how is August the middle of the year? If you follow the Vikram Samvat calendar, you would know that as per this calendar, the year starts in the month of March. Okay, so from March, April, May, June, July, August is 6th month, and then September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So we won't count March, we will only count till February. Okay, so as per that also, half of the year has passed, and this is the time for checking and for really looking at your own self, how much you have grown, what are the things that you released, what are the things that you're still stuck with, what are the things that you need to do in the next coming 6 months, what is your goal like, you know, because ascension, twin flame ascension journey is not how some people in the popular twin flame culture like to believe. It's not a sexual journey, it's an asexual journey. It's a journey of unconditional love. It's a journey of finding who you are. It's a journey of also finding a person who connects with you on all levels of love, but he does not have any such physical desire over you, or any such want or any such need that, you know, I need to get this in return if I give her this or if I give her that. Him or her, you know, you can use accordingly. So on this note, I would be closing this channeling session. Please eat healthy food. Please give healthy food to your mind. And please stay connected with source. Do source integration. And do not get stuck in the worldly traps. Do not waste your time in the worldly things, because the worldly things are not going to take you to the higher level. Only spiritual maturity will. One love and peace out.